Hello, everyone, and welcome to Listeners Beware, a podcast about all things Goosebumps. My name is Gary.
I'm Ashley.
And today we are talking about book number 29.
Monster Blood 3, numero 3. Number I could have done without it.
Yeah.
Originally published in March of 1995 at 126 pages. So, average Goosebumps length kind of book. And Gary, would you like to give us the wonderful synopsis?
It's the slime that never dies. Evan can't stand babysitting his genius cousin Kermit. Kermit refuses to play video games. He won't even play Frisbee. All he likes to do is hang out in the basement doing strange experiments and playing mean practical jokes on Evan and his friend Andy. But now Andy found something that will teach Kermit a lesson once and for all. It's green, it's slimy, and it comes in a can marked Monster Blood.
So, Monster Blood 3, we see the return of Evan and Andy. And I really am not a fan of Andy. I'm not going to lie. The first book, I wasn't so opposed to her. She was tough. She stood up for herself. But by book 3, I really don't like her character.
No, the only thing I like about her is her choice of like Dayglow color clothing.
I was going to say, you like her colors, don't
Yeah.
you? She's wearing always described wearing neon yellows, oranges, greens. And I'm like, very Gary.
Yes, it's very Gary coded.
Very Gary. That's the only thing positive about her.
Yeah.
I don't like the evolution of her character.
Mm-mm.
She's dismissive of his feelings. She's not a very good friend. She really supersedes his, I don't know. She feels like she is just a gaslighter in the making.
Yeah. She was gaslighting before it was a term.
Yeah, she didn't support him and was making excuses for Kermit when Kermit's doing all these bad things. She didn't really align to what Evan was saying until Kermit played a trick on her and caused her to fail her math homework because he put all the wrong answers. And then she's like, oh no, he's awful. Now we got to get him. Even though she had completely up until that point made excuses for his behavior.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. I wasn't really paying a ton of attention to Andy because of how unlikable the character of Kermit was. So I was more like hyper focused on him. But you raised some really good points about her.
You know, RL describes Kermit's little mischievous smile, right? Every time he does something naughty, he's got this toothy grin. And the way that he describes it is like a mouse, like a toothy grin. But all I can picture, I know you're supposed to see like a mouse in your mind, this like little rat feet kind of creature character. But all I picture is, do you remember in Home Alone when they tell him he's going to sleep in the bed with his cousin who wets the bed at night, and his cousin is pounding soda and then gives him a big old smile? That's what I see in my head. Like the I know I'm about to pee on you smile.
Yeah. Easy on the Pepsi, Kermit.
Right? It's like, oh boy. Just the eyebrow raise and the big smile, and I'm like,
funny.
that's what I see.
That is funny.
And honestly, Evan is a lot like Kevin McAllister in his way that he approaches things. He's very whiny.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't really stand up for himself as aggressively, but he is very whiny, like when he is complaining to his mom about babysitting, and yet he still babysits, and he complains to his aunt that it was really all Kermit, but then he backs down so easily. I feel like as a kid that has had to go through what he's gone through, you think he'd have more of a backbone at this point.
Yeah, I agree. The only thing he really stands his ground on is not opening more Monster Blood. And then he changes his mind relatively quicker on that too, so...
Which, given everything that they went through in book 1 and book 2, you see what happened to the hamster. We know what happened in the first one with the witch or whatever. It's like, what the fuck? Why would y'all even, 1, still possess it?
Right.
And 2, why would you even consider unleashing that again?
Mm-hmm.
Even 12-year-olds learn after something destructive like that. I almost feel like if they had been younger, or someone like Kermit who's obsessed with that kind of stuff, weird, creepy crawly experiments, it would make sense. But it's like, these two are seemingly average kids that have gone through some, not just once, but twice, traumatic experiences with Monster Blood. And yet here they are once again, like, let's unleash it.
Yeah, yeah, it makes no sense. And the fact that this stuff seems to be so readily available, like whenever it was found in the Sundries store in the first one, it kind of made sense. Like, that's cool, it's mysterious, it's whatever. The second one, they had a little bit left from that. Sure, fine, whatever. The third one, Andy's parents found it in Europe and brought it to the States, I guess. It makes no sense.
It doesn't. And the fact that Andy is so quick to make that her solution.
Right.
I really, again, it goes back to that character not being a good person. Like,
Yeah.
she's so quick to want to play with monster blood. She's like, let's do it. Let's take it out. And she's just itching for an excuse to unleash it on the world.
Yeah.
I was like, girl, you don't need an excuse if you're on that devious path. Like, just do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. It's this book in a lot of ways suffers from what the last one did, in that there's only one semi-likable character in the whole damn thing, and he's not even that
It's
likable.
Conan.
The bully is the hero in this one.
No.
No.
He's awful, and he's
Yeah.
over the top too. And
Mm-hmm.
this is definitely the 90s bully
Yeah.
through and through, like the one that's able to beat a kid to a pulp, and the parents are, where the fuck are they? They're doing nothing about it. Your kid came home beat to a pulp.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, you're going back tomorrow, right?
Yeah, it's funny whenever I think of two things with these characters. Whenever I think of the bully from this, Conan, I think of the bully from Hey Arnold. Like, that's what he looks like in my head. And then when I think of Kermit, I think of IQ, the red-haired nerd kid from the Burger King Kids Club.
You know what's hilarious is I love the Hey Arnold reference, because I feel like Andy really is like a Helga.
Yeah, she is.
And Evan's just kind of this whiny Arnold, and it works. And
It
maybe
does.
there's some inspiration there somewhere. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, Conan is just too much. That bully was over the top. And considering you have different levels of bullies in this, I think there were too many.
Yeah,
Too many bullies. You have Conan, who's an aggressive, beat them to a pulp bully, but then you have Kermit, who's also in his own way a bully, right? He's manipulating scenarios so that his mom, Aunt D, is continuously onto Evan and blaming him. Like, poor Evan's getting gaslit in every direction.
yeah,
And it's like a bulldoze is happening here in all directions. And yet somehow his rage is only really aimed at, in like, Kermit, his annoyance. He's like, don't you see what he's up to? And I'm like, don't you see what Andy's up to?
yeah. Yeah, and she's a bully in like an emotional way. So we do have bullies represented, and I was like bullyness. I don't know. Represented in three different ways in this book.
Absolutely. Emotional, manipulative, physical. Like, we just have them all around. And it's like,
Mm-hmm.
man, Evan, you need to pick a better circle. Like, is the Walkman really worth it?
Pick a better life, dude. Like, this is not a good situation for him.
Yeah, it's really weird. But, not every Monster Blood book is going to be a winner. I'm going to be honest. After reading Monster Blood 3, I came to a realization, or rereading, I should say, because I have read this one before. I came to a realization that I don't like the Monster Blood series.
Mm-mm.
I don't like any of the books. And in terms of like subcategories within Goosebumps, Monster Blood's not my favorite. And in fact, I really just don't enjoy it. And I think a lot of it has to do with the characters
Mm-hmm.
and how they're written and how they continue to evolve or devolve, if you will. And I'm just not a fan of it. Like, nobody in this book was likable.
No.
Evan was tolerable, but like, nobody was actually likable. So I'm not really rooting for anybody. At this point, it's like, okay, Evan turns into a monster for a moment, or like a giant, but I don't even care because I don't like him.
Right.
And the only point we see anything kind of redeeming for Kermit is when he goes to help Evan.
Yep.
And he seems to genuinely want to help him. But again, it's just like 2 pages worth of I'm helping, and like, you're okay as a character, but the rest of it is like, good God, can somebody just squish Kermit? Like, you should squish him, step on him. It's okay. Go for it. Nobody would blame you.
No. No.
Crunch, Kermit, crunch. And
Kids
by the
bad news.
way, who names their kid Kermit?
I thought the same thing. I mean, obviously, when we think of Kermit, we think of one titular Kermit, right? Like, hi ho, like Kermit the Frog. I don't think of.
Is that who you were thinking of?
Yeah, who were you thinking of? You're like Kermit Jones from 3rd grade. Yeah, I can't wait for his next book where the girl's name is Miss Piggy. This is weird.
Kermit.
It's so weird using that as just a normal human name. Like, I'm sure there are people named Kermit. In my grandparents' generation, I think there is a Kermit somewhere in my family. So it was a name at one point in time before it was associated with the frog. But
was it a name in the 90s?
no,
I don't
think
recall
so.
ever knowing any. Like, think about us in the 90s and like school and elementary school. Was there ever a kid named Kermit?
Not to my recollection.
Not on TV, not in school. It's like, I don't believe that was a thing. I don't know what he was going for with this. And maybe he really was basing it off of Kermit the Frog.
Yeah.
And this idea that to kind of further dehumanize Kermit, his, Evan's cousin. It's like he's this creature, weird, funky kid doing experiments in the basement, and his name is like a puppet. So he's really just not like human. I have no idea, but it was a weird name.
That's a good guess. I really don't know either. Unless RL is just a huge Muppets fan and is slowly working in characters named after that. So stay tuned for book 35 where Fozzie is a character. I don't know.
Waka waka. I don't know. It's just, it was a weird name for a kid. But again, I think it all goes in line with, you have this like dorky creature, like mad scientist in the making child in the basement that won't leave his mom's basement. Like, I sense him being a future gamer.
Yeah.
And so of course you give him a weird, nerdy, dorky name. Although I don't know if we'd call that a weird, dorky, nerdy name. I just think it's a weird name.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. And to your point a few minutes ago, I'm kind of with you on the Monster Blood series. Like, I feel like we tolerated the first one, maybe even sort of liked it, but it was not great. And then 2 was pretty bad, and then this is somehow worse than 2. So it's like, it's frustrating. I think the only Monster Blood thing that I have enjoyed is the TV episode exclusive of Monster Blood on a Plane.
Yeah, I agree. I only like Monster Blood on a Plane, and that's nothing to do with the books.
No. And it wasn't even that great. It was just a fun idea. What if this ooze is unleashed on a plane? That's fun.
I mean, let's be real. On paper, just not in the books. On paper, in theory, conceptually, it is a fun idea. This goo that turns things into monsters that itself is kind of a monster if left like to its own devices. And this idea of what happens if you consume it, it's just like, ooh, yeah, that's a fun idea. Yeah. However, in execution, it's just not landing. I don't know if RL, while he was writing these, had like a dislike for kids, but it does feel like a lot of his kids, as we get further into the series, like we're in book 29, all of them are just really starting to feel one note whiny, and it's a constant whine. Everything is just a constant whine, and like maybe that's how he views them, like it's constant angst. I don't know, but reading these as an adult, it gets a little exhausting. I'm like, can we get some reprieve from the whine?
Yeah, it's also been a while since we've had a decent book. Like, there's no denying that. There have been some good ones this season, but we've been on a losing streak lately. So I don't want to say like I'm ready to write off what he's doing. I'm just saying like I wanted to get good again.
Yeah. I almost wonder if he's kind of at this point, if he fell victim to the lull of like, now we're just churning this out and this is just becoming like the machine.
Yeah.
Just feeding the machine. Here's the basic ABC. Here's the format. Here's the formula. Crank it out. And there's not that excitement in there because honestly, it doesn't feel like there's excitement in there. Yeah. It's panic. It's woe is me. It's whine. It's bullying. And it's like, ooh,
yeah,
another one.
Yeah, it's almost like Chat GPT before that was a thing. It's like just put in the characters, the concept, and then you know.
It's the little origami fortune
Yeah,
tellers.
100%.
Pick a name. That's how we came across Kermit, and not Fozzie.
Right.
At least with the first one, you raise a good point. There was still some Goosebumps in it. Goosebumps that we know, like original classic Goosebumps. And that's the idea that the monster blood is in this shop that suddenly closes down after it's sold, which, that's like, ooh, spooky occult shop. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It had that mysterious vibe about it. With this one, it's nothing mysterious. It's not even fun in like the okay, for example, Kermit's doing experiments in the basement. What if in his experimentation, I can't even use words. What if in his experimentation he accidentally created monster blood?
Yeah.
And like there's the terror because now they're like, oh shit, we know what this is. Le gasp.
Right.
But I don't know. It's like, oh no, he's just a terror. He's manipulative. Aunt Dee believes him. She's a shitty parent because if she genuinely believes what Kermit is saying, that Evan is basically abusive and mean and like destructive to her house and like messing with the dog, then she would be like, yeah, this isn't working out, right? Like in theory, I'll find
Hmm.
someone else, but they try to imply, well, she can't afford a real sitter. So she could be like, all right, one more time. No, no, no. Okay, really, one more time. All right, one more time. So she either doesn't believe Kermit all the way, or she does, and she's just like, well, I don't have to pay much, so
Right.
it's all good. Abuse my kid and dog.
Yeah. Aunt D's not a great character either.
Nope. I mean, I do feel the Conan scenes were intense and a little overboard, and the fact that like he beat Evan to a pulp not once but twice and was
Hmm.
going to beat those kids with the baseball bat.
Yeah.
When Evan intervened, it's just like, oh man.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just tough. Like I hate to say this, but like I kind of miss the bullying of the early books where it was at least a little, I don't know, maybe it wasn't less brutal, but it was more interesting than this. Conan has never worked for me as a bully in any of the books. And every time his name is mentioned, I'm just like, oh, great. It's the barbarian again.
It's the barbarian. Arnold has arrived.
Yeah.
And I just feel bad for Evan. He's always getting beat to a pulp no matter where he lives. In the first book, those bullies chased him down and beat him in Andy's yard.
Right.
And then, like, he moves across country and now he's got Conan who's beating him. And it's just like, at some point, bro, you got to evaluate how to navigate these
Yeah.
situations, or I don't know.
I don't either. And I kind of wonder what happened to Cuddles the hamster. Is he still around? That's where my mind went because I was so bored with the book.
Yeah, it was a struggle to get
Yeah.
there for me, but we're at where we're at.
Yeah. Yeah. We signed up for this.
We kind of did.
Yeah.
And do we ever figure out, like, we never figured out why Dogface keeps getting hiccups?
No, we didn't. Oh, that's a good point.
Because even when Evan accidentally eats the monster blood and starts to grow into a giant dog face, walks into the basement hiccuping. And it's like, what is with you, dog? Why do you have the hiccups?
Oh, man. What a loose thread.
I'm just saying, Kermit creates that concoction to cure his hiccups, and then he gets like obsessive zoomies and destroys the lab and part of the house. Then it's like, oh, okay, well, that I guess you needed the hiccups for that portion. But then later he comes into the basement and he's hiccuping again when Evan is, giant Evan or turning into giant Evan. And it's just like, what is it with you, dog? Why do you
Right.
have the hiccups? We need to evaluate what's going on here. Because anybody that's had a dog, I have grown up with dogs my whole life. I can't even count. I can't count one instance where my dog has had uncontrollable hiccups.
Yeah.
And then it's like, what are you feeding the dog? What is he getting into? I have questions.
Can we get Tums for dogs? Like, yeah, this is.
Yeah.
I've had cats that sneezed a lot, but that's the most like thing that I've experienced.
Yeah,
It's
maybe if he had been a sneezy dog, but a hiccupy dog?
yeah, that's a little weird,
Hmm.
but I don't know. Yeah, these are the threads we hold on to because the main story isn't all that interesting.
These are the days of our life.
Yeah, and it's just kind of I understand that this is sort of a uh, an ode to classic movies with the growing humans, whatever. But growing and shrinking, that was a big thing in the 50s, especially in the sci-fi horror genre. And I feel like that's what he was trying to accomplish here. But the whole book, there's, for me at least, no tension, and maybe that's because I'm so checked out by the characters. But like even when he's growing, I'm kind of like, yeah, I don't care. I felt more
Okay.
I felt more tension with the little kid and Honey I Blew Up the Kid than anything Evan was going through.
Yeah, I think the part for me that was the only no, that's gonna be mean. One of the few redeeming lights in this book that I thought was, decently written is when he's finally a giant and he's out at the baseball field and the cops and the firemen arrive and they've got their hatchets and Kermit's like they've got guns, they're gonna shoot him, and it's just like, oh boy, that's wow, that's
Yeah.
pretty aggressive. And they've got the fire hoses and that's scary, and then he's got to run through the town and they're doing like a manhunt and he's like they're gonna find me, and I don't know, it just that part for me was the true okay, this is Goosebumps, this is scary, this would be terrifying for a 12-year-old, right? You've got a full police force and fire force and everybody's out and they're not playing around, right? They've
Yeah.
got their pew-pews and they've got hatchets. Like they're gonna chop him from limb to limb. Like, wow, okay, that's fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah. And that also kind of feels like what would happen in real life. Like we fear what we don't know. So if there was suddenly a 12-foot tall teenager, I think that's how the world would respond, unfortunately.
Well, and the thing is he had fun with it until it wasn't fun,
Right.
which I think is appropriate in how most kids his age would respond, right?
That's
He's
true.
like, I'm gonna one, bully my bullies back. Two, I'm gonna go and show people I am cool, I am great, and yay, look at me showing off, and everyone's like, you're a hero. And then, of course, that's short lived, and the cops show up. And I feel like, to your point, that would be an appropriate response where some people would be like, this is cool, that's great. And then some would be like, kill it. And I don't know. It's interesting because in that mixed bag, the response in the adults is kind of comedic, but probably realistic because they're like, where are you from? What planet are you from? And it's just like they assumed alien.
Yeah.
But what was a little bit of like, are you guys numbnuts? Is that like they see this kid as a giant. He still looks like himself. He's got his clothes, his face, like it's all the same. He's just big as fuck.
Yeah.
And when he's shrunk down, because spoiler alert, Kermit was able to figure out the right mixture on the third time's charm. Uh, the cops see him and he's now back to his normal self. And like he would still look like himself, just smaller, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, hey guys, have you seen a big kid? Okay, be careful. See you later. And it's like, did you not actually lay eyes on this kid? Because you would see that it looks same clothes,
Yeah.
same face. I'd
Mm-hmm.
be like, what did you do?
Yep. Yeah. I'd be shipping that kid off to a top secret government facility to make sense of it all.
Right? Because his bigness came from somewhere.
Yeah.
And like his size. And then hypothetically, if you do think he's from another planet, I mean, wouldn't you in theory think, okay, he grew, he shrunk, there's something he's manipulating because he's alien that he's able to do that, but instead they're like, oh, you guys haven't seen a big kid? Be careful, we'll see you later. And it's like, he
Can
didn't look familiar to you?
yeah. Can you describe him? Well, he looks a lot like you, but about 10 foot taller.
Exactly. Can you describe him? Yeah, that was the only part where I'm like, are you serious?
Yeah. Yeah.
Y'all didn't think this kid looked, even in that moment, if they had just paused and been like, you look a little familiar. No? Okay, well, be safe, guys. But
Yeah.
like, Just this idea. Hey, you guys see any a big kid? No, okay. Like, why does RL always write the adults to be dumbasses? Maybe because it is from a kid's perspective. I don't know, but I'm
Yeah,
just like the adults are constantly letting letting these kids down.
that could very well be it, is that it's written for the perspective of a kid. And so he's like, well, kids don't logic that hard. But we are adults reading kids' books, so we are logicking harder. What a sentence. Than those kids would have. So, or than we would have when we were younger.
Yeah, I mean, they see us all as naive and ignorant and oblivious, so maybe that is why in all these books the adults are just completely let down.
Yeah.
But like they're failures as adult figures,
Right.
but
It's entirely possible. I did kind of like the scene where he is gigantic and running through the neighborhood, because I just kept picturing like Ferris Bueller if he was a giant.
we go for
Yeah.
over the pool, dog's like, wow.
Suddenly cured of hiccups.
Oh, dog face.
That dog is not well, guys.
The dog is not well. The dog should not be hiccuping that much. And the fact that the aunt is just letting Kermit take over the basement and experiment on things willy-nilly, just take whatever like how is he getting these chemicals?
Yeah.
She has to be supplying them.
Right.
And so it's just like you're just letting this young child play unattended with chemicals and like see what happens.
What a good point. I didn't even think about that. Where is he getting this shit? Like,
It's got to be Aunt D. That's why she can't afford a babysitter. She's spending it all on this future like terrorist supplies.
oh my goodness.
It's not like he can Amazon it.
Yeah.
Like she has to be buying all of this for him.
Wow.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, and that's even more intentional in the 90s than it would be now, because, yeah, you mentioned Amazon or something. It's like, well, he could just be buying it off the internet. Nope.
Someone's got to be physically taking him to get these things, because even with the stuff that they describe, it's not like, oh, he's using sugar and pepper. He is using actual like scientific names of potent chemicals.
Right.
And like, well, I'm going to add this and that and this and that. And I'm pretty sure it's not pretend because of what he's able to produce with those.
Mm-hmm.
He's able to produce concoctions that turn Evan, into a blue creature and covered in feathers and
laughing gas.
He's doing.
And he makes a shrinking formula and a growing formula. Well, no, that's the monster blood. But yeah, he comes up with at least 5 different experiments in this book, and all of them seem highly illegal.
Yeah. And he's getting those chemicals from somewhere. That's not the internet. Like you said, that wasn't a thing. So it's got to be Aunt D taking him to these. And again, it wasn't like you could go up to the local chemistry shop. So where they're finding this, I have no idea. But she's supplying it to him. And it's just like, Aunt D, I've got questions for you. I did like the little like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids vibe at the end where he wakes up to like get out of bed, and then Trigger grabs him to take him to his parents' room. He's like, hey, something's wrong here. Let me take you to mom and dad's room.
Right.
Like, way to go, Trigger. You're a smart dog.
Because the implication is that Kermit's shrinking formula just kept on shrinking. And that begs the question, was that also intentional? Because the kid's a fucking dick. I really don't know.
Given his panic to get it right,
yeah,
I feel like maybe that one was the first one where it wasn't intentional.
It's possible. Yeah, that makes sense.
Just because he was like panicking in that moment. Like that's, I feel, the first time where Kermit was actually human, because he goes through the first one. Oops, turned Evan blue. He goes through the second one. Oops, Evan's covered in feathers. And then he's like, I could get it right. I swear, I promise. It's like his scientific credit is on the, his credibility is on the line.
Right.
And so he's just like, I will get this. And he goes, comes out, gives it to him. And it's just like, I think in this case, it really was just they used too much. It was potent. And he used too much because he not only put it on his clothes, he put it all over his face, his arms. Like he really bathed in this. So I don't really think it was intentional, just this once. But like, what would the antidote be? More monster blood? Because I feel like you're going to end up in like a vicious loop.
Yeah, I know. Just
what happens if you mix both?
Ooh. Maybe that's...
Wow, I wonder if you put monster blood with the shrinking formula, what would happen?
You just disappear.
It's just gone. That's the invisibility formula.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Oh, shit, look at us. We're Kermiting.
Just we're not junior terrorists in the making. That's the difference.
Right? Oh my gosh. And he really is a little terrorist.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he enjoys manipulating and messing
Yeah.
with people. Like the orange stuff that they gave him, or the orange soda he gave Andi and Evan that turned them into like a giggly mess. All I could think of is they were acting super high.
Yeah, I know.
Like, are we sure that it was not drugs he put?
Yeah.
Like, yes, it was chemical drugs, but are we sure he didn't slip them something else? Because the uncontrollable laughter, and they just won't stop laughing. All I pictured was like Cheech and Chong.
Yeah. I mean, that's the dark side of this. Whenever you really think about it, is he is just actively drugging them throughout this whole book.
He's actively drugging people and experimenting on people. Like, I'm telling you, he's a little tiny terrorist. So I don't know, man. I am not down with Kermit.
No. Tiny Terrorists coming to Fox Kids this fall.
So then, what do you think of the cover art?
Jacobus time.
And this is a Jacobus. I mean, his signature is underneath the seesaw on the playground. We've got the big red Converse stepping, about to like smush the slide. There's green monster goo on the floor.
Yep. Which he does love Converse. He mentioned that in our interview with him, I believe. And so that shines through here. This is a cover that I wouldn't say it's one of my favorites, but it is one that like grabbed my attention as a kid. It made me read the book as a kid, and I think it's pretty good. It's just not a top 10 for me.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like that it deviates a bit because the light and the lighting is coming from the background and the foreground is very dark, which we don't typically get in the Goosebumps. It's usually all colors, just a lot more hot spots of light in different areas to emphasize. But in this case, the foreground is very dark. So what pops are the legs, right? Like the legs about to smush something. Even the monster blood kind of fades, even though it's a bright green contrast against the orangish grass.
Right.
It's very much the legs that are catching your vision. And I don't know, I like it. I think it's a fun one. What I find fun is that as a kid, that little tagline on the cover probably wouldn't have got my attention much. Evan's growing up way too fast. But as a parent and an adult, that totally makes me chuckle.
Yeah.
These kids are growing up way too fast.
It's pretty good. Whoever did the tag for this one, A+, if you're listening, and we know you are. I do find it funny that the swing set is broken and he's about to step on the slide, but he managed to dodge the monkey bars in the background.
I do like that he's destroying the playground because it's just a visual, it's visually appealing. Although in the book there is zero playground destruction. He crushes a car. He destroys all sorts of stuff. I think it's funny he crushes the car because it is very realistic that he's like, oh no, did I smush someone? And he looks in the car to make sure he didn't smush anybody. Real horror would have been there was someone in there, and it's like, what would he have done?
Right.
If there actually was a person just smushed. Like, back away slowly, call the cops. Don't worry, they're coming anyways. But like, what would you do as a 12-year-old if you accidentally smushed a person?
Oh my goodness. The amount of guilt I felt when I accidentally stepped on bugs as a kid. Like if I stepped on a person, I'd be inconsolable.
The therapy at that point. Like, would he have just sat and been like, take me now?
One thing's for sure is that therapists in R.L. Stine's towns are making bank.
What are you kidding? The parents are irresponsible. They're not sending anybody to therapy.
Well, that's a good point. The therapists are poor.
They're non-existent.
Non-existent.
Not in those towns.
Yeah, and so like does the book ever say how tall he gets? I mean, he's tall enough that he has to duck behind houses. But I feel like the version of him on the cover might be just a little bit too big.
Well, they do say he gets taller than the garage. So he's at least bigger than a house.
Yeah.
assuming, I mean, it's a one story, I assume, and even the highest garages. I mean, he's as tall as a house at least.
Yeah.
Um, he's taller than the fire trucks because he's able to leap over it.
Oh, right. So maybe this is close to accurate.
Yeah.
If he's that tall, because like if you look, the tree line comes up to his knees, and assuming these aren't tiny trees, like I don't think he could duck behind a house at that point.
Well, he puts Conan on top of a tree, so he's tall enough to be able to at least put him on the highest branch on top of a tree.
That's true.
It's not saying that he's taller than the tree, but he's at least tall enough for that. He's taller than a house, tall enough to jump over the fire trucks.
Yeah.
So he's big,
Mhm.
but to your point, even when he hides behind that stack of lumber's only so tall.
That's true.
And so, assuming the lumber's not going to be taller than a house, he's like sitting behind it. He's still got to be small enough to be able to sit behind that and be hidden by a big stack of lumber.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm getting a little lost in the minutia of it all, but I did wonder while reading it. I was like, how tall is this kid right now? Like,
If I had to guess, I'd say he got as tall as like 30 feet,
wow.
which, okay, if you're crouching behind a house, that's believable
Mhm.
at being that tall or seated behind a huge ass stack of lumber. But anything taller than that, it would be too big. He couldn't.
Yeah, yeah. Wow.
We're getting very logical here.
In a book that's not at all based on logic, so.
And I mean, Andy, I feel like, is constantly encouraging him to get into this monster blood mischief. And I really feel like it has to do a lot with the fact that she wants to do it and she wants to be this agent of, monstrous destruction, but she doesn't want to be at fault for what happens. It's
Mm,
easy to make Evan her scapegoat because she kind of says that at some point. She's like, well, you're the one who you wanted to give it to him. And it's like, no, actually, technically you were, Andy.
yeah.
This was your idea.
Yeah.
She's like, well, it's your cousin. It's like, no, it doesn't work that way. I'm sorry.
Right. It's true. Oh, yeah. What a
Bad
messy
kids,
bunch of
bad
characters.
choices. Yeah, messy monster blood.
Mm-hmm.
I love alliteration.
I know you do. I think the best part of this book is the cover. And that is one thing that I'll say about all the Monster Bloods. They all have very iconic cover art. And, I can't think of that's a future problem, but I can't think of what the next one in line looks like. But at least the first three, they're very iconic in their own way.
Oh,
And
God. There is Monster Blood 4 in the original 65, isn't there?
I'm sorry.
Oh,
I think it's the very last book. So we'll go out with a bang.
we're going to go out with a flop. All right. Well,
Maybe it'll be the
wonderful.
best one.
I'm just going to drink a lot of wine while I read. What's funny is most of the time I'm reading these books, I'm actually like on the elliptical or the treadmill. I might as well do something productive and healthy if I'm going to be going through some of these.
Yeah, that's true. I read them laying in bed before I go to sleep because they help.
They're a giant help on falling asleep. Get it? Ah, giant. Womp womp. People are going to think we don't like Goosebumps, and we do.
We do.
There are certain books when they land so well that they hit that nostalgic, this is Goosebumps.
Mm-hmm.
However, there are some that are like, not my favorite part of the series.
Yeah. And unfortunately, like I sort of alluded to earlier, we've had a bunch of rough ones back to back. So it's, I know they will get good again at some point. I hope. Fingers crossed. Please, God, help me. But until that time.
Maybe the next one will be promising.
Yes.
What's the next one?
The next one is.
You like that segue?
That was great. That was very smooth. I wish I was ready. The next one is It Came From Beneath the Sink.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Book number 30. And that was released April of 1995. This is a shorty, actually. It's only 112 pages.
Interesting. Do you remember this one?
No.
Yeah,
but I remember the cover photo.
Yep.
Or cover photo. The book cover.
Right. I do too.
I'm such a digital age person. The cover photo.
Yeah, it's a very iconic cover. So we'll see if the book is good.
Or if it also goes down the drain with
Mm,
monster blood. Oh.
nice.
Oh man. I am just, it's going to be my favorite part of going through all of the Goosebumps original series books is the fact that I get to do it with you.
Yeah.
They were released over 5 years. We're spanning books that started July 92 and came to their conclusion in terms of the original series in December of 97. So we're going through 5 years of content here. And
Yeah.
I'm sure there are going to be highs and lows like anything else that spans that amount of time.
That's true. I mean, the fact that he wrote 65, 62 books
I
in.
made up 65. I pulled it out of my head, but it's actually 62.
I always thought it was 65 also. So I wasn't
Okay,
going to
well,
question you.
is this one of those like Mandela effects?
It
There's
could be.
65, but like now there's, oh my gosh, there's only 62. And it's like we came with it somewhere. So there was 65 on one timeline.
Yeah. Couldn't this have been one of the ones that was missing?
There were only 58. What? Wrong timeline. Damn it.
I'll take that timeline.
People are gonna think we hate these books.
No, we really don't. I mean, I'm with you. Like the highlight of this is going through it with you, but I know though there will be better ones than what we've experienced the past few. So I'm just hoping that time gets here sooner than later. That being said, yeah. So he wrote 62 books across 5 years, and we're reading those 62 books essentially week to week to week. So that's a little tough.
I mean, I will not lie. There's a few I'm really excited for that I remember that I hope still stand up to the test of time now that I'm older. But there are some that we're going to get into that I do remember that I was like, I really enjoyed that one. I hope I still like it.
Yeah.
And so there's that aspect that I'm looking forward to when we get more into like the paranormal. We get back into the paranormal and the supernatural, and then it's just like, and the creatures, but
Yeah.
like the horror creatures, not, monster blood, but more like vampires and werewolves. It's like, yes.
Yes. I feel the same way. One of my favorites is coming up very soon. So.
Ooh, which one is it? Tell me.
The Barking Ghost.
Ooh, oh my God.
I love that one
We'll
when I was
see.
younger. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to Vampire Breath.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see if if it's is how I remembered it. Werewolf Skin, but unfortunately that is closer towards the end.
Yeah.
There was another one. Oh gosh, what was it? The Headless Ghost? Is that the one it was? I think it might be The Headless Ghost and Ghost Camp.
Nice.
Goosebumps is fun. And I will say that even though as adults we have a different lens we're looking through, so it's maybe not as palatable to us, I think they still stand up to the younger generations. I have no doubt an 8-year-old could read that and get way more out of it than we're getting out of it, because they still probably have that mindset lens of, adults are awful.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, my friends, maybe it doesn't come across as whiny to them. It's more angst than it is like, shut the fuck up, as it is to us. I don't know. Could be wrong.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, 8-year-old Gary would have eaten this up, because the imagination of 8-year-old Gary is like, this could happen.
You eat it up like Evan.
That's right.
Yeah, maybe. I think that we all ate it up as kids. That's why we kept going to the Scholastic Book Fair to see what next Goosebumps books were coming out. And
It's true.
There is that nostalgia and excitement for that. And, I feel like for me, that's the most exciting part about this process in terms of how I approach the books, is exactly those book covers, because those were the things you look for at this Scholastic Book Fair, right? You run in, you look at the books, the shelves to see where are they, and boom, you know where they're at as soon as you see them. The colors, the style of the font, and everything about it was just like, this is what makes Goosebumps.
Yeah.
It's fun that we got Tim Jacobus. Like, for me, that I feel like is such a privilege, because his work, his art on 60 of those covers is just, that's what sucked us in into even opening the pages.
Yeah, it's so true. I mean, and also 63 of those covers in an alternate universe, apparently. But we,
Yeah, of course.
but no, you're exactly right. What he did was the most important part of the books, and I always think about those 90s and 80s cover artists who, not music cover, but book cover artists who they were the ones who sold you the material, right? Like there was a point where once you read so many, RL was the one selling you the material, but initially it was Tim. And I mean, same for a lot of other artists whose names or authors whose names I can't throw off the name of my head, but I bought the book because of the cover art. And in fact, I just did this past weekend. I saw a book from the 90s that had cool cover art, and I was like, ooh, that sounds fun. So
Very on brand.
yeah, yeah, it is.
And to be honest, when you're at the Scholastic Book Fair as a kid, you can't always pick every Goosebumps book that
Right.
just came out. You have to sometimes just pick one if you're lucky, or if you're at the library and it's like you can only check out one. Kids have it good nowadays. Nowadays, they're like, you can check out up to 15 books. And I'm like, what the hell?
What?
We got one. We get to
Wow.
pick one book. And so for me, it's like you're looking at all these covers as a kid, and it is the cover that sells it. Which one out of all these is speaking to me the most?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's the one you go with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Man, what a time to be alive.
What a time, different place.
Yep.
I still firmly believe we got the best of it, the 80s and the 90s.
I agree. I think about that all the time. We kind of got to experience an analog generation and the digital generation. And like I was a little late getting into the digital generation because we didn't have a computer until like 2000. So I got to experience both sides of life. And I don't know which one.
Conan, you barbarian.
Yeah, I don't know which I prefer. It is nice having the fact that I don't have to go to the library and I can just buy a Goosebumps on Kindle, like that's kind of cool. But also it does sort of cheapen the experience a little bit too. So I regret nothing from my childhood.
There is a visceral childhood that we were able to experience that isn't as present in the current generations. I think that for us, we were able to pick up those books and flip through the pages and do all of those things because that was the only option. So that was all we had.
Yeah.
And now we have the benefit and the ease and the access of digital, and that's great. But definitely our childhood was a way more visceral. We were outside, we were breaking things, we were hurting things on ourselves, skin knees and all of that jazz. But it was part of our experience that really, I think, connected us to the external world in a way that just maybe isn't as present.
Yeah.
Now, I will say, I do love that the digital age has given access to kids in a way that maybe just realistically they didn't have before. Not every kid could afford books from the Scholastic Book Fair. Not every kid had access to the libraries.
Yeah.
And being able to check out those books and take them home. And so this digital free age of access to this kind of stuff for the most part, I think is phenomenal because it is putting these experiences in kids' hands that weren't able to achieve it before. They weren't able to access it before. So that I do appreciate. I like that information technology is out there more. Now that that also comes with they may not have the equipment to access that digital stuff, but
Yeah.
you're seeing it integrated more and more into schools, and more they've got things at school that kids are able to share uh, and access that stuff. But you know, as much as it could be a double-edged sword, the information technology kind of boom, and the older generation, I was about to call them boomers, oh my gosh. The older generations are just like, curse you kids and your digital technology, it's taken away from things. I think it's also giving it access to way more people and kids
Yeah.
especially that wouldn't have had it before. So
Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
Goosebumps for all.
Woo! That's the party I run
mean,
on.
it's true. I will say that I know that for us, we have to buy it off of Kindle and other digital platforms, but for kids who have a legitimate school account, they're able to get those digital copies for free.
Oh, that's awesome.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. And I've considered having like one of my kids just give me their login so I can download. But I'm like, no, we're going to support Goosebumps. We're going to support Stine. As much as sometimes we poo poo on the books, overall, this is still phenomenal. It's still iconic, and we'll absolutely support it.
Yes. And I don't regret taking on this project as much as I may have sounded like it at times throughout this episode. It's just, it does get trying, but at the end of the day, I'm super happy to be on this journey, and more importantly, on this journey with you. So.
Aw, look at us, best friends for life.
Look, yeah.
And to your point, does it get daunting at times? Yes, not the recording, not the experience when we're talking about it, but the actual sometimes getting through these books that are just not enjoyable for us.
Yeah.
However, it's like a TV series. It's like anything else that has more than a handful. There are going to be hits and there are going to be misses. There are going to be things that land for us and things that don't.
Yeah.
You can say, I love Full House. I love Saved by the Bell. But there are going to be some episodes that you're like, ugh,
Yeah.
I did not like that episode well, or ooh, that did not age well.
Mm-hmm.
But yet the overall sentiment is still overall, that's still solid. Overall, that's still great to connect to. There are just some that it's like, but not that one.
Yeah. Every episode is great, not that one. But yeah, like but the moments that I don't like in the books, at least we get to talk about them and make light of the situation and share in that shared experience. So it does all work out for the greater good in my book.
The greater Goosebumps good.
Greater Goosebumps.
Alliteration. Now, they have been doing a series called Fear Street, and it's got more of an adult take. Obviously, there's like sex and drugs and things in there that not for kids.
Mm-hmm.
But it is based on the R.L. World of Fear Street books that he wrote. They just released the next iteration of it. It's almost like an anthology. So there's Fear Street, and it goes by the year. So whatever, like the 70s, 80s, I don't know. Anyways, each episode has such a strong musical influence. They always start with a really strong song, and just the songs are iconic throughout them. And I noticed they did that with the Goosebumps TV series too, that current, the more recent one that released with like Justin Long and what's his face, David Schwimmer. Like they seem to be really trying to connect with a generation that is music inclined. And I like that because for us, we are that generation too, but there's also the younger generation is very strong with the music, like what's the viral music.
Mm-hmm.
And so I do like that they're doing that. Now, all that mumble jumble to lead to if you had to put a song to this Monster Blood book, what would you give it?
That's tough.
I know. I threw that, like, that's a hard question to think about, but like I had to throw it at you or think about it on the spot. But it's just like, what song would I give it to make it appealing? Because I feel like the stories are great in the Fear Street movies, the Goosebumps series, but I feel like the music really helps it pop.
Yeah.
It really makes it fresh and exciting in a different way. It's speaking to a different sense almost. And so for me, it's like, man, if I had to make these books pop and give it maybe just a little bit more of a breath of fresh air because it needs it.
Yeah.
What would I give it? What song would I say? You know what? Let's throw this in there.
Yeah. I don't know. I almost feel like Creep by Radiohead.
That's almost too good for this.
Right? They probably couldn't afford the rights. No, I just think, I mean, all the characters in this are sort of weirdos, and I don't know. I'm trying to think of something.
That's fun, though. I like Creep Radiohead.
Yeah.
You could go very on the nose. These boots are made for walking. That's just what they'll do.
My initial thought was High Hopes, because he's
oh my god
in the sky.
Oh god. High hopes. Oh gosh. I mean, we go very on the nose with songs talking about growth. Or I like yours, so it goes more like everybody's a creep, a weirdo in this.
Yeah. What the hell am I doing here? How the hell am I 30 feet tall?
Here. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I'd probably just go on the nose and be just as like wah wah as the book. Why not? Wah wah wah.
Wah, wah.
Wah wah. Waka waka.
That's what he's doing. He's waka walking.
Yeah. Oh God. And this is the episode we lost listeners.
Yeah, right. It was just Statler and Waldorf. Those were the only ones who quit listening. Don't worry about it.
It's okay. Don't worry. Or you go like really just too over the top absurd and you got like Notorious B.I.G. I love it when you call me Big Papa. Just go in on the big theme.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Want to be a shot caller.
Oh, here we go. I wish I was a little bit taller.
I wish I was. Oh my God. Yes. See? There you go.
I wish I had a girl and they glow. I would call her.
See, we found it. We found the song. That's the song. Girl in day glow, I'd call her. Oh my gosh, that was too perfect. Oh my gosh. Yes, that is the song for this book. That one makes the book pop, and now I like the book.
I like
Not really, but
I wish I was like 60'9".
I took a little monster blood and now I'm taller. And with that said,
yes.
Thank you to everyone for tuning in to Listeners Beware. Are you looking for more spooky podcast content? Check out 3 Haunted Podcasts, where Ashley and friends talk about all the things that go bump in the night.
And if you feel like getting retro, you can find more from me at the Wax Nostalgic Network, available on YouTube and wherever podcasts are available. Also, feel free to drop us a line via email at listenersbewarepodcast@gmail.com and follow our various social media channels by searching Listeners Beware.
Until next time. At 126 pages, so average Goosebumps length kind of book. And Gary, would you like to give us the wonderful synopsis?
Average length, but boy, did it feel like a long one.
That's what she said. Sorry.
No.
Not for children, apparently.
Nope. I knew it was coming. I set that one up.
You did. You're like, you like fruit, Ashley. Low hanging fruit. All right.
Aunt Dee's not a great character either.
Nope.
She's a little crazy. She's Aunt Dee's nuts.
Oh God, you were looking for that one.
I was. That was a stretch.
This book was a stretch.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah, it was. It was.
Oh, but
Waka waka.
Waka waka. Oh my God. And it's just like, Andy, I've got questions for you.
What are you, nuts?
Andy's nuts.
I'm going to keep working it in until it makes sense.